This is project 8-2, and we begin by starting a new drawing. The next directions is to create several layers. So you're going to go to layers property. The dialog box should appear. Then you're going to go to create new layer, or you can do the Alt N button to create your layers. We begin with the object line layer. So you'll write object for the name. The color is number 7, which is white. It's continuous. The line weight is 0.60. And for the description, it's just going to say object lines. Do a new layer. This one will be called hidden. The color is number 1, which is red. The line type would be hidden, so we have to go to the low button and search for hidden. The line weight should be 0.30, and under descriptions you're going to change this to hidden lines. Alright, next we're going to do another layer, center. Center is a number 2 color, which is yellow. The line type will be with the center line, so you go to load and you're going to choose center, hit OK. The line weight will still be 0.30, and right here you're going to change this to center lines. Next layer will be hatch. Hatch is a number 4, which is cyan. The line type will be continuous. The line thickness will be default. And over here, you're going to change the description to hatch patterns and fields. Our next one is notes. Notes have a color of 3, which is green. It's continuous, and the line weight is 0.30. And under the description, I'm going to change that to text and notes. The next layer is dims for dimension. The color will be a number 2, which is yellow. It should be continuous. The line weight should be default. And for the description, it should say dimensions. So that completes our layers. I'm going to add one more additional one, and I'm going to call it construction. And my construction layer, I'm going to choose magenta for my color. And I'm going to make sure it's continuous, default. Where it says transparency here, I'm going to change this 0 to about 75%. So that is not so bright on the page, and you'll see when we start using this. And I'm going to change the description to construction lines. this layer will be a non-printable layer, so make sure you turn off the printer for this particular layer, and then we'll close it out. So for this picture, we're drawing figure 8-44 in your book, and we're going to begin with our construction lines. So we'll go to our layers, change it to construction. In the draw area, I'm going to hit the extended menu to construction line, or you can type the command X line. I'm going to choose horizontal for my option, and for our first point, I'm going to choose 0, 0. So 0, 0 for the initial point. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to choose construction line again, but this time a vertical option, and use the same point, 0, 0. So now you have two construction lines going both directions. Before I go further, I want to go ahead and open up my limits. So I'm going to type the word limits, and the lower left hand corner is still going to be 0, 0, so I'm going to hit enter. And the upper right hand corner, I'm going to keep it at the 12 and 9. I'm going to do a zoom, and I'm going to do all, so that we can see our display area. Now what I'm about to do is a series of offsets with my construction lines according to the dimensions on the paper or the textbook. And I'm going to begin with the first offset of 1.50. Click the vertical line. I'm going to click to the right of it. I'm going to press enter twice. And I'm going to type another dimension, which is 0.188. I'm going to click the bottom construction line and click upward. Press enter twice. I'm going to type 1.423. Click the bottom construction line and click above. Click. And I'm going to hit enter to complete that command. So what I've done is create a series of construction lines in this area for my front view of the image. So I begin by changing my layer to object, and I'm going to start with the line command and pretty much trace over my construction lines. So I'm going to start in the corner 0, 0. We'll go this distance. I'm going to go to the top, to this corner, and back down. And press enter. Well, I right click it, press enter, or you can just press enter on the keyboard. Start the line command again, and I'm going to go straight across to complete my front view shape here. Next, what I can do is go back to my offset, and I'm going to type the distance 0.75, click my vertical line, and click to the right, and then I'm going to press enter twice, and I'm going to type 1.045, and click the bottom line and click upward, the bottom construction line. So I made a cross for my circle. So now I can go to my circle command. I can click the center intersection. I'm going to type D for diameter, and my first diameter is going to be 0.266. I'm going to press enter again to reactivate the circle command. Click the center again, and this time I'm going to type the letter D for diameter, and my next would be 0.563. enter. All right. Now I've partially completed my front view. Next, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and start building my other um, sides, what I already have. So basically what I want to do is go back to my construction layer, and I'm gonna go back to the construction line and click it. This time I'm gonna choose the option for angle and type 45 degrees, and I'm gonna click this corner and press enter. Now I have a 45-degree miter line, and this miter line is going to help me transfer my depth. So next, I'm going to begin with another construction line, and this is going to be a vertical line. So I'm going to choose vertical, and I'm going to track over uh, any distance. I'm going to just go with about here, this location, and I'm going to click to create that vertical line. Now I'm about to do a few offsets of this vertical line to help build my right side view. So my first offset is going to be 1.548, and I'm going to click the vertical line and click over to the right. I'm going to press enter twice. 0.188. Click the far right line and click to the left, and I have created pretty much my uh, right side view in this area. So I'm going to switch it back to object line, go to my line command, and I'm going to begin coming down the corners as such. Now for my top view, basically I'm going to use my construction line layer again. I'm going to switch it to construction line. I'm going to choose horizontal, and I'm going to click on the intersections that the vertical lines, all three, have intersected my miter line. So basically, in this area will be my top view. So I switch it back to object and go through clicking my corners. All right. So that is pretty much my top view based off of my measurements on my right side. Now it's time to uh, prepare my hidden lines for the counterbore hole. So I'm going to switch it to hidden, go to the line command. Now this, you would need your object snap tracking on, and you need your object snap on. Plus, under the options, you want to make sure that you have midpoint, endpoint, center, quadrant, intersection, extension, and perpendicular selected in your list when you do this. What's going to happen, you're going to take your mouse and put it on the top of the circle, and you're going to track it over to where you see the X. When you see that X, I'm going to draw a horizontal line, so I'm going to move my mouse towards the right. It is important that the line is straight. And I'm going to type this depth of 0.070, enter. Now, the diameter of this circle is 0.563. So in a downwards direction with your line command, you'll type 0.563, press enter, and then you're just going to bring it back to the white line to complete that part of the shape. Again, we're going to take our line command, touch the top of the small circle, track it over until we see the second X at that location. You click and you just bring it to the white line and you press enter to finish that command. You repeat the process for the bottom part of the circle. You'll track it over, you'll see the first X, then you'll see the second, and you'll click on it and go to the white line with the perpendicular symbol, click it, and then press enter to complete that part of the command. You will do the same procedure pretty much for the top view. Again, you will come to the side of the circle, you'll track it up till you see the X, you'll click it in a upwards direction. I'm going to type 0.070. Again, going to the right, the circle size is 0.563. And then I'm going to bring my mouse back down until I see that perpendicular symbol, and I'm going to click the white line. Again, next, I will put my mouse on the side of the circle. I'll track it up till I see that second X, and I'll draw the straight line all the way to the white line there. Again, the same side, and that completes the counterbore hidden lines there. Now next we have some holes here in the top view that we need to complete, still using our construction lines. So what I want to do is delete this particular one that's in the middle. When you use construction lines, sometimes it can get overwhelming in your picture and it's hard to track what's going on. So what I'm going to do is go to offset, and I'm going to type a distance of 0.294. Click the line and click to the right. Press enter twice. My next number will be 0.544. Click the original line, click to the right. Hit enter twice. My next number will be 0.899. Click to the original line, click to the right. Hit enter twice. My next number is 1.149. Click the original line, click to the right. And I'll hit enter to complete the offset command. So now that we have the lines here to represent our center point, we need to create some other lines to identify the vertical heights. So we go back to offset. The first number will be 0.238. I'm going to click the bottom line and click in an upwards direction. Press enter twice. The next number will be 0.658. Click the original bottom line and click in the upwards direction. And then next, you're going to type 1.078. Click the bottom original line and click in the upwards direction. And then press enter to complete the offset command. So next, we're going to use our circle command. We'll click on circle and plug in some numbers that are given Basically, the radius is 0.085 for the slot. I'm going to use this intersection. Oops. And before we do that, let's hit escape. I need to change my layers to object. And now I'm going to draw my circle. So the radius 0.085. I press enter to reactivate the circle command. I'm going to click the next intersection, press enter to keep the default circle size. It remembers the previous circle. Now I'm going to use my line command, and I'm going to draw a line from quadrant to quadrant the same way down at the bottom. Then next I'm going to use my trim to delete the parts that I do not need. Okay. So next will be to take this same shape and copy it to the spot above. So I'm going to click on the copy command. I'm going to select this intersection, and I'm going to go to the second intersection up top and press enter to exit the copy. Same procedure for the smaller circle, but I'm going to choose the center and diameter option. I'm going to click on this intersection. The diameter is 0.1255, and I'm going to hit enter to reactivate the circle command. I'm going to click the next intersection and press enter a second time to keep the same measurement as before. I will use the line command to connect the bottom parts and the top parts of the circle, and then trim the lines out of the shape. So at this time, the slots are all created. Now, using the tracking, I will go back to my hidden line layer, use my line command. I'm going to touch the edge of the circle and track it down till I see the X here. Let's try this again. Hit escape. Alright, so I'm going to track it down until I see the X. And make sure you click on the line. Now this particular slot is said to be 0.130 deep. So move your mouse in a downwards direction. You'll type the number and and press enter. Then to the right, using the tracking again, you'll track down the length of it, and then once you find that intersection location, you'll click and then draw a line in an upwards direction to connect it back. You will do the same procedures again, coming from the edge, track it down, find the X, and then click it to the original. Another shortcut is to select the line, go to copy, you're going to click up top at this particular location as your base point, and you're going to go to the other side and then press enter, or you can right click and go to enter, and that creates your second line there. Now for the right side view, what we're going to do is go back to our construction lines and transfer some measurements over. But before we do that, I want to clean up some of these construction lines so that it won't look overwhelming. So I'm going to select one of them. I'm going to right click and go to where it says select similar, and I'm going to hold shift to deselect my minor line, and I'm going to use the erase command and erase all the others. Next, I'm going to switch this back to construction. Go to my construction line. This time I'm going to choose the horizontal version, and I'm going to click in several locations. The first two and here, I'm going to click here, and lastly here and there. Where they intersect, I'm going to create more construction lines in a vertical direction at every intersection point. And then press enter to end that command. So in between these lines here will be where my hidden lines go. So I'm going to switch it back to hidden. I'll go to my line and basically trace over the construction lines. Again, this is what makes drafting sometimes a lot faster. Now for the middle section, again, it has a depth of 0.130. I'm going to go across to the intersection and then back up. Now what I'm going to do is hide again or delete my construction lines again. So I did the select similar, and I'm going to hold shift to deselect my minor line, and I'm going to get rid of all the others. Our next move is to do the center lines. So I'm going to choose center for my options, and I'm going to go through a series of steps. The first one will be to type DIMCN. So DIMCN, which is a setting option. It's going to ask for a new value, and that new value is going to be a minus 0.09, and press enter. Then you're going to use the command dim center for the actual dimension center command, and it's going to ask you to select the arc or circle. You're going to select the circle here, and it creates the center lines instantly. You press enter, and you're able to click on the arcs to make the center lines in these locations. Now for the other views, the center lines are just a matter of one single line that you will create. So we begin with the top view here. I'm going to go from the midpoint all the way to the X, and I'm going to press enter to end the command. From there, I'm going to stretch my center line upwards. So I click the grip, and I'm going to type 0.09, 0.09 for my distances there. Alright, so down below, I will again use my line command, find the center of this line, and I'm going to go to the top and click, And I'm going to stretch this line to the perpendicular symbol, then do another stretch of 0.09. I do the same for the top grip, 0.09. Now, using the copy command, I'm going to go to copy, select my object, we'll press enter. My base point currently will be at this location. And I'm going to come all the way over to the midpoint. And then I'm not going to click on it. I'm going to just touch it so I can track it in an upwards direction. And when I get that intersection right here, I'm going to click at that location and I'm going to press enter. What should happen is I copy the line over into that area. Now for the center line in this location, again, I'm going to use the line command. I'm going to track from the center line of the circles all the way over till I see the X. I'm going to the perpendicular symbol and I'm going to press enter. Next, I will stretch my line, 0.09, 0.09. For the remaining center lines here, I'm going to use the construction line method. So I'm going to switch it back to construction, choose the construction line, horizontal version, and I'm going to click on all three center lines of the slots. And where they intersect the bottom line, I'm going to create some additional construction lines that are going vertical at those intersections. So in my right side view, all I have to do is pretty much trace my construction lines again. So I go back to center, to the line command, I stretch it out, 0.09, and what I would do is, as a faster method, is to copy that line. So I go to copy, I click my line, I press enter. I'm going to use this as my base point right there where the line intersects the object line, and I'm going to go to every single point similar to that. So that creates the center lines for that area. So at this time, your drawing is complete as far as the object is center and hidden lines are concerned. What I want to do now is to delete all my construction lines. So I'm going to select one, go to select similar, and delete them all. So that's out of the picture. What I want to do next is to dimension this drawing. And to dimension, we're going to go to annotate and change some of the features that's on it. So in the text style button right here, we're going to click on it and we're going to change the text height to 0.0625, which is a 16th of an inch. And we're going to click the set current button and close it out. Next, we're going to go to the dimension styles area. So find that arrow in the corner under dimensions and you're going to go to modify. And we're going to change a couple things. Where it says baseline spacing, that should be 0.25. The extend beyond dimension lines should be an 1/8, 0.125. The offset from the origin, it should be a 16th, which should be already there. We'll go to symbols and arrows. The arrow size is going to be 0.0625. The text should be already locked in at 0.0625. But we're going to make sure we choose align with dimension line. Under primary units, we're going to change it to 3 decimal places. And we're going to hit OK. Then next, set current, and then hit the close. Alright, so from here we can do our basic dimensions. So I'm going to make sure that this is large, and I'm going to go straight into my dimension linear. Now before I do this, I need to go back to home and double check to make sure I have it on dimension layer. Alright, then I go to annotate and then linear. First we're going to click this corner to this corner, and I'm going to type point 375 for my distance away. I'm going to press enter. Not actually, escape. I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to choose baseline dimensioning. As you notice, it created a second one above or below, depending on where your mouse is located. And I'm going to click this corner here to establish the 423 and press enter. I'm going to go back to my dimension linear command, and I'm going to choose this corner to that corner, type 0.375, enter, and then do another baseline dimensioning. Now this time, because I clicked this one first, it created that as my new baseline. So what I want to do is hit enter to select the extension line on the right side here, and I should be able to stretch it out from that particular point. And I press enter to end the command. For my front view here, again, another dimension linear from the bottom corner. Actually, hit escape, dimension linear from the center line to the bottom corner, and then I'm going to go out 0.375. Do another linear from the center point to the corner, downwards 0.375. Up top, we have a series of ordinate dimensions. Now to do that, you're going to type the command QDIM for quick dimension. It's going to ask you to select the geometry. What we're going to do is select everything on the left side that is dimensions. So this line, that line, and the bottom. I'm going to press enter. Next, I'm going to choose data point for my origin, which would be this corner. And then I'm going to choose the ordinate style dimensioning. Now, to the left, I can extend my lines, but what I want to do is use my arrow of my bottom view to help track over to get that equal distance. And I click, and that prepares those set of numbers. Again, I'm going to type QDIM, and I'm going to select this line and this line. I'm going to press enter. My data point is still the corner, and I'm going to go in the outward direction. Now this side I don't have anything to track, so what I want to do is just go ahead and use my polar tracking, and I'm gonna find the numbers 0.375, and you see that's kind of close enough. I'm gonna go ahead and click at this location. Our last annotation are a series of leader lines. So I'm gonna type the command leader. The first one is describing this slot, and I'm gonna choose the intersection of the center line first. And what's gonna happen, I'm gonna move my arrow to the outside. Next, I'm gonna choose the polar tracking option for 15 degrees so that I can find a 15-degree angle to lock it in. Once I find my intersection here, I'm gonna go ahead and click. I'm gonna bring it to the right, 0.125. I'm gonna press enter, and I can type my first line, which is a radius, capital R, 0.085. Press enter. I'm gonna type the word through slot. Press enter. 2 places. Press enter. Press enter one more time, and that creates the text. Now, in the textbook, my text is not aligned to the left. It's actually centered. So I double click my text, and I'm going to choose the middle center option, and I'm going to close the text editor. Now, when you do this, it stretches my uh, extension line into the text. So what we need to do is bring it back to where it was before. Alright. Now I can click my leader line and the text. I'm going to go to the home tab, go to move, and I'm going to click the point of the arrow and bring it to the X to create that. I'll do the same for the opposite side. I'll go to the command leader. So I'm going to type it in. I'm going to start at the intersection. I'm going to find my 15-degree angle, which in this case is going to be 30. I'm going to use this tip to kind of help guide me there, and then I'm going to go 0.125. I'm going to press enter a second time, and I'm going to type the percent, and the letter C, 0.1255, press enter, and then another 0.130 deep. Press enter a second time, and there we have our text. I'm going to click both and move my leader out to the edge. My final is for the counter bore, choosing the center point, and this time at a 30-degree angle. I'm going to go and touch my arrow, and where they intersect, click. I'm going to go 0.125, press enter a second time, and type the word drill, percent, the letter C, 0.266. Type the word C-bore, space, percent, the letter C, 0.563. enter again, another 0.070 deep. Now when I type that percent C, it's a shortcut for the diameter symbol. We go to my justification, middle center, and again close. As before, you're going to move the shoulder back to its original location. At this time, you have a complete project 8-2, the optical mount.